Hey guys, Coach Dan here, back again. So we've got a push workout today, back end of the week, time to finish strong. We are going to bring back a twist on an old classic here. And yeah, back end of the week, we've got to keep going. So first half of the week, pretty good. Getting back into things after being unwell, yeah, it's a bit rough. But you just get back into the routine, drop off where you need to, and then you have that room to build back up. So that's kind of the attitude that I've taken. So not to get too disappointed that you're not at peak performance. But yeah, happy days, fun stuff. First half of the week done, and now we just keep chipping away. All right, let's not muck around. That's where I was at. So sometimes the idea, I've been discussing this with a couple of people lately, that you always need to feel motivated to do something is a bit misleading. It's like, you don't always need to feel motivated to do the thing. Sometimes you just have to do a thing. So an example might be like, not everyone wants to go to work every day, or they don't feel motivated, but they have a reason to. So if you're thinking, I'll go to the gym when I feel motivated, that motivation can be fleeting. It's there sometimes, it's not others. So instead, it's just like sometimes you have to do it when you don't want to do it. And the irony in it is that when you get started, usually you do start to feel motivated. So you don't have to feel motivated, you just have to have a reason to do it, or a motivator. So just keep that in mind, I don't feel motivated to exercise. So just do it because you have a reason to do it sometimes. And then the other times when you feel motivated and it's all fun and everything's pumped up and it's great, that's good as well. But sometimes you just have to do it, and then the motivation will come later. All right, after that spiel, let's go. Bench press first. Okay, first up, bench press. So I'm doing the bench press on a 20 kg bumper plate here. So what can happen when you bench press, if you have any kind of arch, or you kind of lock your back in like this, it can almost turn into a decline bench press. So if I have that arch, and then I put myself up here, it kind of just turns it back into a flat bench press. So it's just a small thing that I do. We lay back, eye line under the bar. So if you go too far back towards the rack as you go to press, you'll smack into the rack, or you'll want to press towards your feet. Set the hands. For me, it's a thumb from the smooth. Lock the feet in tight so you feel nice and stable. Grab the bar and squeeze the bar nice and tight. Shoulder blades also get squeezed together, and that's that arch that I was telling you about. Now, that just helps me feel a bit more strong and stable. Unlock, control the down, and press. So I have a gentle tap on my chest, gentle pause as well. Press up pretty aggressively. I'm going to do a 6 to 8 rep range today. Been a long time since I've done this one, so we'll see what the strength level's like. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Should be fun. Let's get it. Alright, so that's my bench press variation. So got myself on there a 20 kilo bumper plate, so it almost kind of makes it a slight incline, but because of my position at the beginning, I'm just going to call this a flat bench press and note down that I have got that plate there. So pretty good. I've always really sucked at bench press, which is a bit frustrating, but maybe this will be the time that I can get good at it. Anyway, feels pretty good. Fun. See if I can progress it for the next indefinite future. All right, let's move on. Okay, coming from a flat bench press, we're now going to go on to an incline dumbbell bench press. All the classics today, that's nice. So this is the first notch up on this bench, changing the angle slightly from that. Again, just potentially focusing on different fibers of the chest. So I started this one up a couple of weeks ago, felt pretty fun. So some of the considerations for the bench press is going to be, the angle of the bench, but also getting the dumbbells into position. So you probably want to make that as smooth a process as possible. So I'll pick them up, chuck them on my lap, and then reset, and then getting them back into position. Also worth, wasting as little juice as possible. So kick them up, legs, getting into that position as easy and smooth as possible, so we're not wasting too much energy. Control the down, big stretch, drive up, down, sit up with them. So, hand position as well. You might like angle slightly closer towards a neutral grip or further out. Whatever feels good for you is good. Rep range, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, both pretty good, I'd say here. Again, depending on your preference and your goals. All right, let's get up to our weight and we can start smashing it out. Incline dumbbell bench press. So, not too bad. I started with that one last time out of this program, which was 2 weeks ago. And this is the first time adding in the bench press ahead of this. So, it's pretty rough actually, like performance much worse off after that. But again, now we have a new starting point with that in mind. I'll tell you what, today might not be one of those workouts where everything's smooth and fun and enjoyable, and I'm just thinking to myself, well actually, like the thought process here is fuck this, this sucks, this is not fun, I'm not doing so well. But those workouts are also important to get through, you know what I mean? Like if you only train when you want to train, I reckon often that's not going to be, or train hard when you want to train, I don't think you'd be training very much personally. I think, too much goes on in day-to-day life that makes you tired or fatigued or whatever it might be. So sometimes you just got to bite down on it and just get it done. Try as hard as you can. Make sure you put that effort in. Wherever the performance lies, that's where it lies. At least you've put the effort in. And not only are you training, but you're also training yourself to do it when you don't really feel like doing it. And I think that's a skill people kind of take for granted. People come to me, I don't feel motivated. You don't have to. You do it sometimes. And then the next time that situation comes up where you don't feel motivated again, it should be easier to do it because you've experienced doing it. So, that's the kind of thought process that I'm going through. Sort of fighting my own internal battle, but we will come out on top. I'll feel better afterwards. Workouts will get smoother and stuff like that. So just do it sometimes, even when you don't feel like doing it, it'll be worth it. Okay, machine fly to finish off the TIG old biddies. All right, the battle goes on. Machine fly, chest. This seat, not adjustable. So on this particular machine, the considerations, taking this back as far as your mobility allows. So this big stretch, not past what you're capable of, like if you have shoulder pain or anything like that, too far, but you set it a notch so that you get this big stretch at the back, nice range of motion. I'll keep a soft elbow, which will keep my bicep a little bit more chill, because the bicep is also a muscle that can help with this action. If we have a completely straight elbow, there'll potentially be more stretch and more tension on the bicep. So let that bend a little bit, and then we can adjust for height depending on sort of where in the chest we want to target. So if we want to go low, you'll see that this comes through the lower part of the chest, you know, middle, high, so on and so forth. So I'm going sort of mid to high, get both handles, slight elbow, like this is big stretch for me, and then you're driving your arms towards one another, like such. This is a nice machine fly, nice and smooth, feels really good. So big stretch, squeeze across. I'm going 10 to 15 reps. Could be slightly higher or lower than that. I think that could be fine as well. But for me, that seems to work and feel best. 2 sets only, chest work done. We keep going, we keep fighting. Gym, there's no one else here. So like that represents that we're putting ourselves in another level already, you know what I mean? People aren't here. So sometimes it's good to reflect and go, well, we're showing up, even if it's not the best each time, we're showing up. That's pretty good. All right, show up, let's go. Ooh. Machine fly, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. So if we look at my chest work throughout, I'm doing 7 total sets today. And then I do 2 of these workouts per week with slightly different exercise selection. So ends up being about 14 sets per week, which seems to be okay for me. So machine fly, big baller stretch at the back. It's good. This is about as isolated as a chest gets. The chest essentially is a muscle that pulls your arm across the body like that. But, you know, the bicep is also potentially going to help in that a little bit. But when you press, you think anterior deltoid. Well, when you fly, you've got anterior deltoid as well. So, but this is probably as close as we get. We take the tricep out of it pretty much. You might have seen some of those pec decks before. Because my elbow is so bent, sometimes that can help take the bicep out of it. But yeah, it's good to isolate, it's good to feel, squeeze, know what we're trying to work, along with those compound movements as well. Both are good. You can use both. You can use compound movements only. You know, find out what works for you, basically. All right, chest done. We've got shoulders and triceps coming up. That goes into this workout as well. Let's go. We're going with a lateral raise variation. Slight incline on the bench. And in front of a cable machine. So this is one of the shorter cable machines. Shorter, smaller. Sometimes they call them functional trainers. And this one also, the arms can adjust in or out. Not all of them you have that flexibility. And if you don't, that is cool. So I'm going to grab a cable from one side, cable from the other side, then lay back and do my lateral raises. So I have really liked this one since starting to do it. It just locks you in. Like, could I do this standing? For sure. Like, definitely. Like, and it would feel really good. I've done these before. behind the back, like a whole bunch of different variations. But this, lying down, no body movement. Your body has to stay still, which means the deltoids, the lateral deltoid is what we're trying to get at here, has to really do as much of the work as we can. I set the cable arm up, so it's coming sort of down and across my body, trying to stretch out my lateral deltoid, and then I'll do it from the other side as well, obviously. So I'll grab one, grab the other, lie back, and then we'll go to town. So we're here, grab one. Might have to attach a handle first, what do we reckon? Take two, grab one, grab the other, lie back. It's going down and across my body, and then we raise up. And that's that. Some things to keep in mind: you go too low, that comes into your body, kind of smashes you in the leg or in your crutch. You probably don't want that too much unless you're a bit of a sicko like that. The arms, they could go higher, so then we'd be going across the body. I would say not only is that potentially equally as good, but it could be good to do both of those. So we're moving the arm through these different ranges and potentially working different fibers of the shoulder, potentially, right? So, all right, now a challenging one about this one is the weight jumps are pretty big. So I might have to do a heavy set to start off with and then bring the weight back down, but I'll check in at first, set one. Oh, fuck. All right, that is one of my shoulder exercises for today. So got the bench on the incline here, got the cables reaching down, sort of down and in like this, and essentially all I think about doing, obviously I want to focus on the muscle and getting that connection with what's working, but aside from that, externally what I'm thinking about is wherever that handle, where it's facing, I'm going in the same path directly against that. That's kind of how I set it up, and that's how I know it's consistent at least each time. Again, you could raise that up. It would come more to the side like this, like all good. You could do them both over the course of time. You might find that one feels good, one doesn't, blah, 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 blah. You can sort of make up your own mind there. Yeah. All right, we go on from here. Shoulder press on the old Smithers machine. That's Smith machine. I like that last time, so let's go do that again. Smith machine shoulder press. So I've come off my lateral raise. So the reason that I'm doing a isolation movement before this compound movement is simply because that is more of a priority than, although the muscle groups that I'm trying to work over there, lateral deltoid, let's say, is more important than the anterior deltoid for me. As well as the anterior deltoid was probably contributing more to my bench press, my dumbbell bench press, my fly. It's all going to help with that as well, usually. So it's not as much of a priority, as well as, what was the other reason? It's already done a bit of work. So this is just to cap it off. So the Smith machine shoulder press, I've found these funky fat grips that I'm going to try today. I've never really tried them, but I want to see how that kind of feels in my hand. Nothing magical about that. So let's have a little practice here at this weight before we go to our heavy weight or heavier weight. So we'll simply, I don't want to put this on here because it might get smashed. So you set the bench at a height where the bar is going to come down directly in front of your face. So you want to set it back enough that it obviously doesn't come and smack you in the face, but you also don't have to be like way far back there and then kind of bringing it down in front. The thing about this is it goes up and down on these rails. That's how the Smith machine works. So once you kind of set it, if you have your head here, and even if it just misses your head, as long as you don't move your head, it will not move, not like a free weight bar, right? So with that in mind, I can set it up, and if I know it's right by my face, it's going to stay right by my face and not smack me in the face. So we go up, we click out, control the way down, bring it to the top of the chest or sort of clavicle area, and then press up. When we think about anterior deltoid, we think about its job, right? It attaches from the deltoid tuberosity to the lateral part of the clavicle or collarbone. So it's going to potentially pull your arm in this kind of direction where your arm is smashing towards your face. So with all that said, when you set it up, you want to be making sure you're bringing your arm towards your face. If you lean too far back and we start to go across like this, now we're thinking pec's going to go, yeah, I got this, boys, we got this. But we don't want them to got this, we want the shoulders to got this. So we set it up such that it is going to be shoulderly. So check it out. That's that. Nothing to it. Those fat grips feel pretty nice, so I might try them for all my working sets. And then we'll get jacked. Just takes a while to get jacked, doesn't it? You just got to keep going. All right. See you at set one. All right, the Smith machine shoulder press done. got those fab grips on there. They feel pretty comfy. What they do as well is they do increase the range of motion a touch, so they make you go a little further. Because that grip, sort of, there's no grip in here, and therefore you have to go that little extra distance. It's not major, but again, it made me significantly weaker, so maybe that range of motion is a deal. Ultimately, that feels pretty good though, so any shoulder press variations, again, if it's muscle growth that you're after, you're not just simply pushing the weight up, you're pulling the arm across towards your head to make sure it's the anterior delt that does a lot of this work. So think about that, pulling my arm across my head. Could be dumbbells, could be bar, could be a machine. We're driving that arm towards the head. All right, tries for the guys. Let's go. Okay, next up, overhead tricep extension. So we go overhead to stretch the triceps out even further. So you think about the job of the tricep is to straighten the elbow, but also a job that it helps do is this to your shoulder. So extension of the shoulder, or especially the long head, well, only the long head, because the long head comes and attaches to your scapula, so it will help pull your arm towards your scapula as well. So when we do things like this, yes, two heads of the triceps are stretched out, but then when we go up overhead like that, we get that long head stretched out as well. So we go overhead, or at least raising the arm up, skull crushers, overhead like I'm doing today, and then the combination of those things. So when going to do this, I'm going to use a straight bar, you could use a V-bar, you could use a rope, you could use whatever you feel comfortable with. You kind of take it, you twist over, and then we get into that kind of position. Now, I want to set that cable height at a position where at the beginning I'm making it really hard. It doesn't have to be all the way at the bottom because I'm going to have to reef it up like this, but just low enough. And then I'm going to kind of angle myself such that when I'm in this position, I know that that is going directly against me. So I'm working hard at the beginning. So set that at a height that, again, I don't have to kind of reef it from the bottom, but it's also hard at the bottom, so it's pulling me down and versing me from there. We do 5 sets here, 8 to 15-ish reps. And that's that. Let's go. All right, so that's my overhead tricep extension. So setting this up below, so we're going from low to high, and your elbow's coming up. And then when we set this height, we want it essentially to be angled directly versus where I'm gonna go against the movement, essentially. So angling directly down there. So when I first start, it's gonna be hard. If we had it up high, and I were going in this position, it's not gonna get hard till it starts to go directly against the cable. So that's always been one of my favorites. Feels good. Elbow feels good. Happy days. We got a lateral raise machine coming up to finish for a little bit extra delt volume, and one more tricep exercise. I might do them as a superset because I am over it. Let's go. All right, so this is the, there we go. This is a funky looking lateral raise machine. It's a bit of a contraption, old school piece, but I have been using it for a couple of weeks now, quite like it. The position that my arm gets into, the position that my arm goes is really good. Range of motion's pretty good. So go do it for a couple of sets here to finish off the delt work. So hands on the pads, elbows on the side, raising the elbows up. Control the way down, as low as the machine will allow, in towards the rib cage, and raising up. So again, being this is an old school machine, it might not be at every gym, but feels good. I'm gonna do it. Happy days, only 2 sets. I'm gonna superset this with a push down as well. So we just finish off our volume for the day in a good period of time. Let me show you that. Okay, to finish off the triceps, we're going to do a push down with this V-strap, B-strap they call it. B-strap's the brand. So essentially you put your hands in like that, and we're gonna push down like that. Now, this strap's pretty good. I find it quite comfortable. Things like ropes, similar idea, but you have to hold on to it. This you don't have to hold on as much. So we can let the hands chill and really focus on the tricep. So I'm gonna go from the lateral raise straight over here, 2 sets, high rep range. I might take them up towards 20 each and then see what fatigue does to them. All right, let's get it. All right, so that's a finish to my workout. Machine lateral raise, push down, 2 sets of each, superset. So machine lateral raise is, 6 meters away. Walk over here, do this, both at a high rep range. So what I did is I actually changed this from that strap to this one here. Just felt a little bit better, and I went from facing out to facing in. That also felt a little bit better. Felt like I wasn't getting pulled up. So 2 sets, 15 to 20 reps per set, just to cap off the volume and cap off what's been a miserable workout. Let's get out of here. Okay, that is a wrap on the workout, guys. That was the least enjoyable workout that I've done in a fairly significant period of time, but that's cool. Just as long as we know that it will turn around, we don't have to get caught up in, oh, this is miserable, this is shit, I'm going shit. It's just like, well, we've done one bad workout or one not enjoyable workout. It will all turn back around with time. So we just have to kind of stick at it and get back in there and keep going, basically. It's better than not doing anything. And like I said at the beginning, it's like training that trains you to train when you don't want to as well, which is pretty positive. So we have to do it when we don't want to, and when we do want to, it's fun and it's enjoyable and you love it, but you got to do it when you don't want to do it as well, if we want the best progress we can. So that's that. As always, make sure you do the subscription and the liking and the sharing and all this kind of stuff, and click on any other videos. Check out how I train the other muscle groups. Usually I'm not as miserable. It's probably not true if you ask a lot of people. Anyway, as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.